You know, there is nothing more exciting for a woman with a rock-solid family life to be able to explore the opportunities in her career. Well, I was always a model and an actor, but the chef in me was discovered by guess who? Sanjeev Kapoor. Well, I'll tell you all about that story as we go through with the recipe, but let me first tell you what I cooked for him to impress him when he came over. It was the Dak Bangla Chicken, and you're gonna love it. Ab roast chicken to sabhi ne khaya hai, right? French style, Greek style, Italian style. But today, I'm gonna make you Dak Bangla roast chicken. You see, I'm from Calcutta, so obviously thoda to Bengali influence hota hi hai. So the story goes that, when the British were ruling our country, they used to miss their roast chicken. But they didn't have the herbs and spices that goes in their roast chicken. So what they would request the staff to do, especially in the Dak Banglas, the guest houses, they would tell them to use the Indian spices. And our staff is ever so welcoming, right? They know how to please anybody and everybody. So they used to use their local spices and create a special roast chicken and gave it the name Dak Bangla roast chicken. Trust me, it's very different and very tasty. Basically, इसमें पड़ता है दही, थोड़ा सा जीरा पाउडर, अदरक लहसुन का पेस्ट, धनिया पाउडर, basically all the spices that the Bengalis use, or in fact Indians use. Now we're going to add some haldi to this, just a wee bit of haldi, some nice lal mirchi, red chili powder, nice color you give, and the one most important ingredient of Dak Bangla chicken is Kasundi mustard. Bengalis love their mustard, and so do I, even though I'm a hardcore Sardarni. But I've grown up with Bengalis all around me, and I've had such Bengali influence in my life, where it's the culture, the food, that I have begun to absolutely love Bengali cuisine. So this roast chicken is one of my super favorite, Indianized style, but yet so different, so amazing. I've made this so many times at home that this has truly come to become one of my signature dishes. So chalo, let's complete this. I'm just going to taste the seasoning. Amazing. All we need is some salt now, lots of salt, because we're going to coat the chicken with this entire marinade. Ideally, you should marinate the chicken for at least 3 to 4 hours, but right now I'm going to show it to you right away. We'll do it right away because we need to learn this process and we need to learn it quick, right? Okay. Chef Sanjeev Kapoor and his wife have come to my house many times. And when I had my baby and I told him, the kind of things I'm doing for Agastya, he said, why don't we make this into a show? And I'm like, please, chef, cooking on TV is completely different from cooking at home. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with acting. But how are we going to do it, on screen? How are we going to combine the two? And he's like, you know what? If there's anybody who can do it, it's going to be you. I want you to do a show for children. I want you to, become a chef. And if you listen to me and the way I'm going to guide you, I'm sure you'll reach the goal. Little did I know that his words will come true. And now look at the way tables have turned. I'm so passionate about it. Last year I went to Singapore and did an advanced culinary course. And because I just wanted to understand what they really teach in a culinary school. And it was so educative, so enlightening, so exciting. I really wished at that point that I was 17 all over again and I could do the 2-year course there. But never mind, life has been good. I've done what I've done. I've learned all the things the way I've learned it. And you know what? I have no complaints with life. So now that I'm a qualified chef, I decided to call Chef Sanjeev Kapoor home with his wife and feed him some really exciting stuff that I had created. Not the children's food that he had tried earlier. And this is what I made for him. He loved it. You're going to see the recipe and understand how easy it is to make, and you're going to make it, you're going to eat it, and you'll know what I mean. Okay? So as I was talking to you, I have nicely marinated this whole chicken that I have with the skin on. Do not forget, agar skin nahi hoga, maza hi nahi aayega. Now, ideally, you should leave this for about 3 to 4 hours, but we are going to just put it in the oven, which I have already set to preheat at 200 degrees. Okay? So there you go. Now I'm going to just chop the neck off. This doesn't look so pretty. Do it carefully. And what are we going to do? We're going to truss the chicken. Now what is trussing? Which is basically we're going to tie the legs and the wings so that it gets nicely roasted when we put it in the oven. Okay, nicely and evenly. So now the chicken is nicely trussed. Okay, now we're going to take a tray जिसे मैंने पहले से ही grease करके रखा है. अब उसके ऊपर मैं इस chicken को इस तरह से रखूंगी. Okay, now I'm going to take some nice pure ghee and just drizzle the chicken with it. Okay, and now for that last addition. What do Bengalis love the most? Yes, the eggs, and so do I. We're going to put 2 boiled eggs inside the cavity and going to now put it in for roasting. The eggs will take in all the flavor of the marinade and the chicken juices, and they're going to taste really flavorsome, very, very nice. So we're going to add this to the cavity, and now we are going to put this in for roasting for about 15 to 20 minutes in the beginning. Then I'm going to flip it over, baste it again with our ghee, and again roast it for another 20 minutes. So let's do that. Okay, so the oven is set at about 200 degrees. You should always preheat your oven every time you're beginning to roast or bake anything. Basically, every time you have to use the oven, make sure it's preheated at the temperature that you need. Okay. Yummy, smelling lovely, looking good. Isn't it looking lovely? Now we're going to let it rest for a little while, because if we start carving it immediately, then all the juices will run out. So you need to give it about 10 to 15 minutes. At the same time, you don't want it to get cold, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to cover it up with a silver foil so that it does not become cold. Now once it's cooled down a bit, you can either serve it directly on the table and carve it there, or you can carve it in the kitchen and serve it. Right, let's now put this on the platter. You know, so when I served this to Chef Sanjeev Kapoor when he came over, he couldn't believe it that this girl who he had actually insisted upon to take this as a profession had actually done it, and now was feeding him some really exotic food. He was like, wow, I have created something beautiful. So here you go, this beautiful roast chicken, which I'm going to serve with some nice onion rings right here and some green chilies to add the spice. Okay, and now some lemon wedges should be nice as well. So let's chop that. Nice 2 lemon wedges. Right here, some nice fresh dhania just for the garnish. You know, if you have determination and conviction, and if you're hardworking, trust me, you can fulfill all your dreams. And of course, a supporting family helps a lot. Okay, so here you go. We are done with our beautiful Dak Bangla roast chicken. Well, Chef Sanjeev Kapoor loved it. Now you try it and tell me how you liked it. Well, so with that, we come to the end of the first season of Being Amrita. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because this is the first time I have shared so many of my personal stories about my childhood, about my growing up years with all of you on a public platform. Now what you have to do is like, subscribe and share my channel Being Amrita, because trust me, Amrita is going to be back with a lot more. After all, it's all about the chef and beyond.